Subscribe. MTL World at Mittal World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2. Origin Continent. Volume 7. Nine Rivers Holy Realm. Chapter 288 The Undying Blood Sea Body. 16th of Volume 7. A colossal painting stretched across the heavens and earth, enveloping an infinite expanse. In a flash, 5 figures streaked across the sky like meteors, vanishing into the night and blending seamlessly with the vast picture, leaving no trace behind. At the same time, black rain poured down like ink, while a white mist silently emerged. This mist carried an unfathomable chill, causing the temperature around it to plummet to unimaginable levels. Ridiculous, Luo Feng sneered coldly. His body swayed before expanding rapidly, growing as immense as a towering mountain. A thick layer of blood-red scales enveloped him like impenetrable armor, shielding every inch of his body. Beneath him, an endless sea of blood surged wildly, as if intent on dyeing the entire world bloody red. Deep within Luo Feng's body resided a powerful treasure, a formation diagram known as the Life and Death Catastrophe Diagram, one of the 2 great assets he relied upon in this battle. Before this mission, Luo Feng had borrowed 300,000 Xuanhuan crystals from Di Qing and, supplementing it with his own resources, managed to acquire this formation diagram. It contained profound insights into the late-stage God-Emperor realm, intertwining the forces of life and destruction with immense power. He had specifically purchased this formation to complement his unique, undying blood sea body. With a mere thought, Luo Feng activated the life and death tribulation diagram. Instantly, the boundless blood sea erupted with overwhelming, chaotic energy, becoming even more wild and unstoppable. Enhanced by the formation, it expanded across hundreds of millions of kilometers in an instant. The vast expanse originally covered by the enormous painting was now completely consumed by a bloody realm. In this bloody realm, turbulent waves of blood surged below, like savage beasts searching for prey. Above, a thick blood mist spread endlessly, veiling all secrets within. This was Luo Feng's domain technique, Blood Sea Realm, a technique he had painstakingly developed by merging the life and death tribulation diagram with his undying blood sea body. Now, the blood sea and the surrounding world had become an extension of himself, entirely under his control. Luo Feng's endless sea of blood launched an overwhelming attacks against the 3 opposing forces, the huge painting, the black rain, and the white mist. Against such overwhelming power, the massive painting shattered and disintegrated like fragile piece of paper. The black rain, laced with deadly toxins and highly corrosive, sought to invade Luo Feng's body like an invisible assassin. However, Luo Feng's vitality was near limitless, and his regeneration ability was astounding. Using the blood sea as a barrier, he engaged in a relentless battle against the toxic rain. For every unit of energy consumed by his blood sea, the black rain expended 10. Over time, the hissing sounds of evaporation echoed through the air as the black rain dissipated into nothingness. As for the bone-chilling cold carried by the white mist, it stood no chance against the overwhelming force of the blood sea. Against this vast bloody tide, the mist melted away like snow under a blazing sun, vanishing instantly. With a thunderous roar, the vast sea of blood surged uncontrollably, washing away the black rain, engulfing the white mist, and ripping the massive painting into shreds. Not good. We've provoked a terrifying opponent. As the enormous painting shattered, 5 figures were forced out of hiding, their faces filled with shock and fear. They cursed inwardly, realizing they had severely underestimated their target. Their combined domain techniques crafted through the joint efforts of 3 among them had been effortlessly crushed by Luo Feng alone. The overwhelming disparity in domain power was undeniable. It became clear that Luo Feng was not someone to be trifled with. Excelling in one aspect doesn't mean he's strong in everything. We've already initiated the fight, there's no turning back now. Kill him. Despite the setback, these 5 masters were also mid-level god emperors, possessing immense strength and confidence. They reasoned that while Luo Feng dominated in domain control, he might not be as formidable in other aspects of battle. Having already engaged in combat, retreat was not an option. They had to eliminate Luo Feng and his allies completely. Kill the weak one first. In an instant, a figure clad in white robes locked onto Di Qing, unleashing a dazzling burst of light. Like countless sharp blades, the radiant energy illuminated the surroundings as it swiftly surged toward Di Qing. You think I'm that easy to deal with? Di Qing's expression hardened. Without hesitation, he transformed into a sword formation, fully aware that he was facing a formidable foe. Narrowing the formation's range, he focused all his strength, preparing to counter the attack with everything he had. Your opponent is me. Luo Feng's thunderous voice rumbled like a storm, shaking the very fabric of space. His towering figure radiated overwhelming power as endless waves of blood surged outward, crashing toward the 5 powerful enemies. You're rushing toward your own death, so be it. A man with cold, piercing eyes flashed a sinister grin before his body suddenly liquefied into a mass of eerie black sludge. As if alive, the dark substance vanished from its original spot and instantly reappeared on Luo Feng's body. Thin tendrils of the black sludge began seeping into the blood-red scales covering Luo Feng's immense form. This power. Luo Feng felt a chill in his heart. He immediately recognized that this dark, toxic, and highly corrosive substance was an enhanced version of the previous black rain, far more dangerous than before. Yet, he remained unfazed. His physical body had been meticulously crafted through countless experiments, incorporating the blood scales of the Star Tower and the Immortal Heart. His greatest advantage was his body's sheer indestructibility. Why is his body so damn impenetrable? Frustration and disbelief flickered in the cold-eyed man's gaze. As he attempted to corrode Luo Feng's defenses, he realized his own energy was rapidly depleting. It felt like striking an immovable mountain, every attack disappearing into an abyss without any effect. We have no choice but to face him head-on. In an instant, the surrounding white mist condensed, taking form. Within moments, two colossal ice giants emerged, their towering frames matching Luo Feng's in height. Each had 8 powerful arms, their bodies forged entirely from unyielding ice. Bathed in the brilliant glow, their bodies appeared almost ethereal, crystalline and translucent, as if sculpted from the purest gem. Their beauty was mesmerizing, yet beneath this breathtaking exterior lurked a deadly menace. Without hesitation, they lunged at Luo Feng, all 8 arms unleashing a synchronized barrage of strikes. Break! Luo Feng's eyes burned with determination as his fists clenched tightly. Wearing his treasured gloves, he unleashed an explosive surge of power. Ignoring the incoming flurry of attacks, he focused solely on striking forward with overwhelming force. His punch seemed to carry the might of creation itself, shaking the very ground beneath it. The sheer impact shattered 4 of the ice creature's arms, despite its attempt to block. Luo Feng's fists finally hit the ice creature's chest heavily. With a loud bang, a huge hole was blasted in the chest of the ice creature, and the whole person flew backwards under this terrifying impact. He's a monster in close combat too. The 5 elite warriors of the Guifeng were stunned. Every cultivator had their own area of expertise. Mastery in one field didn't guarantee strength in another. Yet Luo Feng shattered that belief. Not only was his domain technique overwhelmingly strong, but his close-quarters combat was just as fearsome, rivaling even the most formidable mid-stage god emperors. Attack together. Surround and take him down. Meanwhile, the black sludge relentlessly seeped into Luo Feng's body, searching for a way to breach his formidable defenses. At the same time, the ice giant's shattered arms rapidly regenerated, mending themselves in an instant. Without hesitation, it charged forward once more, undeterred by destruction, its ferocity unwavering. Suddenly, streaks of blue ribbons shot through the air like venomous serpents. Slithering swiftly, they filled the vast void before coiling tightly around Luo Feng, binding him completely. Trapped with no room to evade, his movements were severely restricted. To make matters worse, a massive blood serpent emerged from the battlefield. Its sinuous form wrapped around Luo Feng's right leg and waist with crushing force, sending a sharp pang of pain through his body. Luo Feng struggled fiercely, trying to break free from his restraints. However, the blue ribbons were astonishingly durable, clearly a high-grade treasure. No matter how much force he exerted, they refused to yield. Crack, crack, crack. The massive blood serpent coiled tighter, exerting immense pressure. Cracks began appearing on Luo Feng's blood-colored scales. Yet, just when it seemed his defenses might finally give way, the fissures vanished as quickly as they had formed, his body healing instantaneously. Despite the relentless siege, Luo Feng's body withstood the overwhelming force. His resilience is unbelievable. His body remains completely unscathed. But he's still trapped. As long as we keep him suppressed, we can slowly wear him down and kill him. The 4 strongmen of the Guifeng exchanged telepathic messages, impressed by Luo Feng's durability. Yet, they believed the battle was already decided. As long as they continued to restrain and imprison him, his fate was sealed. From a distance, Di Qing, still locked in combat with another powerful foe, noticed the situation and felt a twinge of concern. Fighting 4 opponents at once is too much, even for him. The combined strength of the 4 strongmen from the Guifeng are still too difficult to deal with together. Although worried, Di Qing remained composed. Di Qing and Luo Feng were from the origin world. Even if they fell here today, their clones would survive elsewhere. Suddenly, bound and seemingly helpless, Luo Feng burst into laughter. Ha ha ha. The sound echoed through the battlefield, catching his enemies off guard. You really think this is my true physical body? Luo Feng grinned, his gaze sharp. The technique I personally created, I named it Undying Blood Sea Body. And do you know why? I replaced Immortal Blood Sea Body with Undying Blood Sea Body, as Undying seems more perfect to use. The 5 strongmen from the Guifeng instinctively felt a sense of unease. Because the Blood Sea is my true form. Luo Feng let out a hearty laugh as his towering figure abruptly dissolved, morphing into a torrent of blood that seamlessly merged with the vast, boundless blood sea. This was the essence of the undying blood sea body. Unlike traditional forms, where the body is the primary vessel, Luo Feng's power was distributed differently. 80% of his energy resided within the endless blood sea, while only 20% was condensed into a physical form. Moreover, he could freely transition between the blood sea and physical body states at will. This is the true path to immortality. The four powerful figures surrounding him hesitated, momentarily stunned. The massive figure they had been relentlessly attacking had simply vanished, dissolving into an ocean of blood. Now, they found themselves unsure of how to proceed. Boom! The blood sea surged violently, engulfing the sky and land in its bloody tide. At its core, the life and death tribulation diagram activated its first layer of power, life and death prison. Within the vast sea of blood, an ominous vortex emerged, the eye of the blood sea. With the aid of the formation diagram, this eye transformed into a spatial prison, sealing off a single target, the eerie, strange, shifting mass of black sludge. The sludge wriggled before rapidly coalescing into the form of a sinister-looking man. The cold man's expression twisted in shock. He was now trapped inside a spatial prison, completely isolated from the outside world. Within this prison, the forces of life and death flowed endlessly, eroding everything in their path. It is better to cut off one finger than to hurt 10 fingers. Meaning, if you aim to kill, strike one enemy, not 10. Luo Feng materialized within the prison, locking eyes with the sinister man. I'll kill you first. He understood his own limits well. His undying blood sea body, combined with the life and death tribulation diagram, could only imprison one opponent at a time. If he attempted to capture multiple enemies, the risk of them breaking free would be too high. By isolating and eliminating them one by one, he could ensure victory. You think you can kill me? The cold-eyed man sneered, though his gaze flickered nervously as he scanned his surroundings, searching for an escape route. However, as the formation activated, chains forged from the essence of life and death materialized out of thin air. These spectral chains, imbued with a will of their own, slithered through the void and wrapped tightly around the cold, sinister man. No matter how fiercely he struggled, their grip remained unyielding, binding him in place. His strength surpasses mine. I can't afford any delusions. The man's heart sank. Realizing the dire situation, he immediately activated a life-saving treasure. Buzz. For a fleeting moment, his figure turned ethereal, slipping through the chains, grasp. In an instant, he hurled himself toward the edges of the spatial prison. The prison resisted, its barriers rippling as they strained to hold him, but he managed to tear through, escaping its confines. Not daring to hesitate, he pushed forward, crashing headlong into the thick membrane of the eye of the blood sea. This was the very core of the undying blood sea body, akin to the internal world within Luo Feng himself. At this moment, Luo Feng's heaven and earth clone had fully merged with it, reinforcing the blood sea eye with immense power. Boom! The shadowy man forcefully slammed into the blood sea eye's membrane wall, shattering 3 layers in succession. Yet, despite his desperate attempt to escape, his momentum was waning. His treasure was specialized for swift flight and evasion, but it lacked the raw force necessary to breach reinforced spatial barriers. Having exhausted its power, he found himself trapped once more. No! A wave of regret surged through him. He had only prepared a single life-saving item, confident that, with his 4 allies, he wouldn't need more. Now, staring into the abyss of death, he cursed his own arrogance. You didn't escape after all. Luo Feng's voice echoed ominously as the spatial prison rapidly reformed around the cold-hearted man, enclosing him in its unrelenting grasp. His figure materialized once again, a smirk tugging at the corners of his lips. It looks like today is truly the day you die. Spare me. Please, spare my life. Bound once again by the spectral chains, the man's body convulsed as the ceaseless forces of life and death gnawed at his very essence. Fear twisted his expression. He was now at Luo Feng's mercy. A flicker of desperation flashed across the cold man's face as his voice trembled. If you let me go, I'll give you all the treasures I have. Luo Feng's gaze remained icy, devoid of pity. What a joke. Once you're dead, your treasures are mine anyway. The cold man gritted his teeth, realizing bribery wouldn't work. Panic set in as he tried a different tactic. I have many friends in the Guifang. If you kill me, you'll make powerful enemies. Luo Feng sneered, his voice laced with disdain. So, only you are allowed to kill me, but I can't kill you. As he spoke, the life and death prison continued its relentless attacks, its strangling force draining the cold man's vitality without pause. His energy dwindled rapidly. Desperation mounting, he reached out telepathically to his 4 companions. Outside, the remaining 4 powerful figures of the Guifang stood amidst the turbulent sea of blood, bewildered by the unfolding scene. One of their own, one of the strongest among them, had been imprisoned within Luo Feng's domain. This sea of blood. It's his body. He must have an internal space, and an ability to imprison enemies. They scanned the vast, churning expanse, but the eye of the blood sea remained elusive. Then, his frantic plea rang through their minds. Help me. I used my life-saving items, but I still can't escape. Damn it, help me now. The four Guifeng experts exchanged wary glances. For the first time, hesitation crept into their expressions. The ice-forged giant narrowed its crystalline eyes. Luo Feng, you haven't been in Yulan City for long. If you kill Kumo, his master and allies will come for you. You kill him, and for the sake of our reputation, we won't let you off either, the giant blood serpent hissed menacingly. A deep, resounding laughter erupted from the endless sea of blood, reverberating across the battlefield. Ha ha ha. Luo Feng's voice was filled with fearless defiance. I am a being from the origin world, and you think I fear making enemies? If you want to kill me, then come. Let's see who will be afraid in the end. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe. MTL World at Middle World 1 YouTube channel.